Where do all the testicles that get removed in orchiectomies go? Growing up, my dad had a hog farm and he would throw them on the floor for the dog to eat. No trans dudes get prosthetic testicles. As of right now, while we can modify basically everything on the outside, we can't transfer the inner workings of one sex into the other yet. They are banished to the island of misfit testicles. Thinly sliced, lightly battered, deep fried, and served with marinara. Often when anything is removed from the body, it's sent to a lab where a pathologist checks it for cancer and other malignant conditions, but ultimately, it gets destroyed. Testicle transplants for trans men do not currently occur at all. If a trans guy wants balls, he gets prosthetics. There have been some attempts at uterine transplants for trans women in the past, but none have been successful so far. I worked in an OR for the summer and part of my job was cleaning up the OR after surgeries, which included taking any parts to the morgue. Any parts were placed in red biohazard bags and then taken to the morgue and put in the bottom right body fridge. It was emptied regularly and the parts were incinerated, but that wasn't part of my job. Also, hospital morgues are exactly as creepy as they make them out to be in movies and TV. Ours is in the basement, and you have to walk by this like graveyard of broken hospital beds to get there and nothing is well lit. I hated going down there alone. They do, as previously stated, get incinerated as medical waste, but also to respond to your inquiry about keeping them. I trans male wanted to keep my boobs in a jar of formaldehyde. Strangely enough, my surgeon said he had never had someone request that and wasn't sure I could take both, as at least one had to be sent to a lab to be tested in case there were any previously hidden diseases, cancer, and whatnot. I imagine it's similar for testes. Unfortunately, I did not get to keep either boob, because I had flown out of my home state for the surgery, and TSA being, well, bringing something like that onto a plane without it being medically charted as a transplant or the like posed several issues. Trans men here. I'd love for someone to donate their genitalia to me, but it's currently impossible as it would be similar to organ transplants and you'd need anti-rejection drugs. Additionally, the blood flow, necessity of a prostate, vas deferens and urethral hookup is too complicated. There's two major types of bottom surgery. For trans men, phalloplasty and metoidioplasty, and both have the option of testicular implants, and they are usually silicone or fluid filled, and when you pump them it inflates a rod placed during phalloplasty. TL doctor, nope, but it would be cool if it was possible. Unrelated, but I'm getting a hysterectomy sometime next year and my doctor thinks I'm crazy, but is going to check out if I can keep it in a jar. Although she just might have been placating my weird sense of humor during a medical procedure that was making me super anxious and dysphoric, hahaha. Stocking stuffers. In the square hole. Incinerated. You can't just stitch body parts onto another person. The immune system will recognize them as foreign and kill the cells. That's why recipients of donated organs need to take immunosuppressants for the rest of their lives. This is also part of the reason why only a handful of uterus transplants have been performed. A lot of doctors consider it unethical because it's not necessary to save the life of the recipient. It puts the recipient at risk, and it also puts the fetus at risk and can leave them with birth defects. Dog, they get burned. There's not some testicle fairy that pays your rent for your balls. I eat them. You can't just take someone's body parts and attach them to a different person. A lot of testing has to go into making sure people are perfect matches to receive transplants. Into the stew. If you're part of Heaven's Gate, they go in the ocean. They are exported to Sweden. I've heard it's a delicacy over there. They ferment them in rotten fish juice and then eat them raw. They make a hose super bouncy balls with them. Hi, pathologist here. We receive breast and testicles from transgender people to check them out cancer or not. After that we dispose of them incineration. Rocky Mountain oysters.